Hey y'all, happy Thursday and welcome back to another live segment. Today the sun is out. I was able to work out this morning and I feel like I'm doing good on time despite being a little late to this live segment. I'm always fashionably late, y'all, at this point in time. At this point, I'm always fashionably late, but I'm excited to be live today. I don't want to take up too much of y'all's time because Thursdays always seem to be so busy. I have to always go pick up my nephew. I have to finish editing the latest video that is supposed to go out today, which I'm excited for. I actually recorded that earlier this week, so I was ahead of the game at first, and now I don't know, child. But that video is going to be about affiliate linking, which I'm excited to share and break down, how I incorporate that into my business as a stylist. So I need to finish editing that. And also I have other work to do and a whole list of things to complete. So yeah, I'm gonna try to be as quick as possible today and not talk y'all's ear off, but I say that every time, and that doesn't always work out. But anyway, for those of you who don't know me before we get started, my name is Kristen Johnson. I'm the CEO and founder of Project Style University, where I help first generation personal stylists turn their love for styling into a profitable business. I do that through mentorship, one on one coaching, private programs, and these YouTube videos and live segments. And I've been in the styling game for over a decade. I'll be celebrating 12 years next month. And I'm excited to keep growing, keep moving, continuing to scale, and continuing to learn as well as a style savant and as a style biz coach in the industry of styling. So I'm excited to be here today, as always. And today we're talking about social media do's and don'ts. I feel like social media is such a huge topic of conversation and has been honestly since when did Instagram come out? 2011, 2012. Facebook has been around for years. Twitter has been around. Now we have TikTok, which may or may not last that much longer. And people, I guess, still use Snapchat. And then we have a LinkedIn as well. And I'm sure some other social media platforms have come up. Oh, Threads, which I'm not on, but it's similar to Twitter. And obviously, YouTube. I don't consider YouTube as a social media platform. I literally consider it as like I don't know, a TV platform, video, I don't know. But it's so many different platforms, so many different social media spaces to show up in. And as a stylist, I feel like it can be very overwhelming. At least for me. I don't know about y'all, but for me, it can be very overwhelming because you see so many people who are the influencers and those individuals who speak about fashion and who speak about style. And they're not stylists, but they're influencers, or those individuals who are stylists and not influencers, and you can kind of easily get wrapped up in what everybody else is posting and sharing, whether it be sharing what they're shopping for or sharing their outfits or sharing what they're wearing and all of those things. But those things are great. But when it comes to being a business owner, when it comes to being an expert in this field, you have to position yourself as such on social media. Similar to what we talked about last week, we talked about positioning yourself as a style expert. And social media is an easy way to do that. It's free for most of these platforms to share content, but you have to be intentional about the content that you're posting and when you post and what you post and all of the things, and even as intentional as far as what platform you're showing up on. Because I don't expect you all to show up on every single platform that exists. I don't do that. I don't want to do that. It's too much work. Honestly, I don't know how anybody can do that. So I always encourage stylists to show up at least on two platforms consistently, at most three. And anything over that, you're going to be overwhelmed. So my social media platforms of choice are YouTube, LinkedIn, and Instagram. TikTok, I gave up on it a long time ago. I can still post on it if I want to, but I'm not like creating content just for TikTok. Twitter, I don't have. Threads, I don't have. Facebook, I have, but I'm not posting there. So yeah, I found my top three. So I want to encourage you to find your top two or three social media platforms to show up on and to show up on them consistently in different ways. I mean, you can take one piece of content and turn it into other pieces of content that can be shared amongst these two to three platforms that you are showing up on. The same way that you show up on Instagram may not be the same way that you show up on LinkedIn. The same way that you show up on LinkedIn may not be the same way that you show up on YouTube. So you really have to figure out what type of content you want to share, how you want to share it, and who exactly your ideal audience is. And I wanted to get this out the way before I break down the do's and don'ts because all of this plays a part into your social media content and what you're doing on social media. Depending on what you're doing or depending on who your audience is and what platforms you're on will depend, the type of content that you share, the type of content that you create and the type of content that you put out there. So it's so important to one, find your platforms, two, well, one, find your target audience, figure out who you're speaking to, and then two, find the platforms and where those individuals are. So you're not showing up on a platform where your target audience is not. And then three, show up consistently with whatever platforms you're showing up on and with whatever you're posting. And the easiest way, before I get into the do's and don'ts, the easiest way for me to show up consistently is setting aside time to, of course, create the content, strategize, figure out what type of content I want to share, what do I have to share? Because I feel like we overthink content. I feel like we feel like, oh, we have to sit back and create all the time. When 9 times out of 10, we already have a picture that we took in our phone. We already have a video that we took in our phone that we can use and just add some words, add a voiceover, add a nice little caption with some tips and call it a day. So don't overthink what content is. Content should come easy. Content should be super simple. It's just a matter of figuring out, what the content is going to mean. What is it going to represent? What do you want to say with this content? So let's hop into the do's and don'ts because, again, I don't want to take up too much of y'all's time and it's already about to be 1 o'clock. So, number one, do show your work, not just your wardrobe. Show your work, not just your wardrobe. So when I say your work, I mean the people you have styled. If you feel like you haven't styled anyone, you need to create your own opportunities where you can style other individuals and showcase what you can do as a stylist. Provide tips, provide advice, and it doesn't have to be something that is super, difficult or something that is super unique. It can literally be a tip that you use for yourself when getting dressed or you use for your clients when dressing your clients. Don't overthink or don't feel like, oh, everybody knows this already or, everybody talks about this already. Don't think that. Still share and still post that tip or that advice if you feel as though it's important for everybody to understand. I know for me, I find myself repeating myself often when it comes to social media because it's just like TV. Like you can't just see one commercial one time and expect it to stick. You have to continuously see the same commercial or even hear the same commercial before you actually pay attention to it. So the same thing works for social media. Don't just post this one thing this one time and think that everybody in the world has seen it because they haven't. So it's so important to consider, creating different types of content for one topic, saying the same things over and over again, but showing it in a different space or in a different light. I'm constantly talking about capsule wardrobes and the benefits and the importance of them. I'm constantly talking about how clothes aren't just the end all be all to building confidence. I'm constantly talking about the same things. And it's important to do that because when people are scrolling on social media, they may not see the post that you're posting right away. They may see it later. With the algorithm now, people, a lot of the times, I don't see posts until like maybe 2 to 3 days later. It's like, oh, this is a good post. And you comment and you realize, like, oh, that person posted it a week ago. And it's like, well, wait, how am I just seeing this? And it's the algorithm. So it's so important to not be afraid to repeat yourself, say the same things over and over again, because not everybody is going to hear you the first time you say it. So when it comes to showing your work, you can also consider showcasing client transformations. So from before and after photos, or even the process as it's happening. BTS of the sessions, behind the scenes. People want to see behind the scenes. People want to see what it looks like to work with you. People want to see what it looks like when you're shopping and when you're going into these malls and when you're shopping online, and how your brain works when it comes to styling clients. People want to see and they want to hear that. So don't be afraid to share that and provide tips. Of course, testimonials. Testimonials are always great to post and share. And now that's one thing where I'm not really sure if I want to consistently, not even consistently, that's the wrong word. Testimonials are one thing where I'm like, okay, I already posted that testimonial. I'm not about to post the same one. But I will say what you can do is post a testimonial in the caption, and post maybe a picture of the client or maybe a behind the scenes of you working with the client, and the testimonial can be in the caption. And then if you want to post that testimonial again, then that testimonial can actually be the content. So, you can create a piece of content that actually showcases the testimonial and put something different in the caption. So that is one way that I would suggest, reposting testimonials. But once that's done, it's like, all right, how many times can you post the same testimonial? I mean, unless a third time could potentially be the client, leaving a voice testimonial or even a video testimonial. And that could be another piece of content that it's that same client, that same testimonial, but just in a different form. So, three ways you can post a testimonial without it being, I guess, watered down or super redundant, if that makes sense. So, don't just post your personal outfits. Like, just posting what you're wearing, just posting, get ready with me, just posting outfits of the day is cute and that's great. But depending on who your audience is and depending on what type of stylist you are and what you actually talk about, sometimes none of that really matters. Now, unless you're posting your outfit of the day and you're like, hey, I wore this because, or I put this look together in this way because this is how my brain works when I'm putting outfits together for these particular types of events. Like, it's so important to be specific when it comes to what you're posting on social media about your styling and about your outfits. Because just posting an outfit and saying, oh, I look cute today is not going to make someone want to, or it may, but I know from my experience, it doesn't always make someone say, like, oh, I'm going to hire her, or she's an expert. Like, I'm just showing my outfit like any other person on social media is doing. So step outside of your comfort zone, do something different, and be specific and be strategic about, your content. And when you're posting your outfits and when you're posting your get ready with me's and all of that, make sure that it just makes sense. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else regarding this topic. No, that's it. All right, moving on to number two. So number two is a don't. Don't inconsistently post or go radio silent. So I know, I get it. Being consistent on social media, it can be a challenge. It can be hard. Showing up consistently every week can be hard. I mean, even doing these live segments is hard for me. It might not seem hard, but I'm always like, okay, what should I wear today? What should I talk about today? What should I go live today? Should I not? Like, it's always a question in my mind because I don't always feel like it. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't always feel like going live. I don't always feel like posting on social media. I don't always feel like doing any of that. But I do it because I know that it's going to benefit those who are watching me. I know that it's going to benefit those who I am created to serve. So, and it also helps to be consistent. So, I want you all to know that being consistent doesn't necessarily mean every day. Like, you don't have to post on social media every single day. You don't. At one point, I thought I did. At one point, I thought posting on social media and showing up every day was, something that I had to do, but I don't. Like, you don't. We don't have to do that. Now, it is important to have some type of consistency. So, consistency for you could be 3 times a week, 4 times a week. It could be twice a week. You're showing up on live, and then um, those other 3 days, maybe you're just posting, or, really figuring out a cadence that works for you, that is consistent. But not showing up and not posting at all isn't going to help you to get the clients you're looking for. And it's not going to help you to show up as the expert that you are. So it's so important to find a cadence that works for you. But a quiet feed is a missed opportunity. Even if you're not booking right now, your consistency builds trust and visibility. So right now, I don't have any clients. I don't have any styling clients at this point. Are they coming? Yes. Am I excited when they do come? Yes. And I know they're going to come. But for this time being, as a business owner, as a stylist in general, clients aren't always consistent. At times, it can be a time where you are working with 3 or 4 clients at a time. And then another time, you're not really working with anybody. So it's important to prioritize where your focus is. So right now, my focus is on creating content. My focus is on doing my LinkedIn lives every week and doing my YouTube lives every week. My focus is on sending at least 2 emails a week. My focus is also on creating shoppable content for LTK, the affiliate linking platform that I'm on. So my focus is really on just the content right now. And also, I forgot to mention, I got back into blogging. So a lot of my focus is on Substack. I'm releasing a Substack article or a Substack post once a week, every Friday. Every Wednesday and Friday, I'm releasing a LinkedIn article. And I'm able to do this, one, because I'm planning out my topics, I'm planning out my content and what I want to share and what I want to post. I'm also utilizing ChatGPT. I always say it wrong. ChatGPT. I'm utilizing that to help me to organize my thoughts and to also help me write out these articles and these Substack posts. So it's not like I'm sitting back spending hours and hours writing out all of these posts. I'm using my tools and I'm using what I have to get it done. So it can be scheduled and pushed out, and the next one can be ready to go consistently. So for this entire month, I literally have a LinkedIn article scheduled every single Friday at 8:30. For this entire month, I am focusing on getting my Substack to that same thing. So I currently have 2 Substack posts scheduled for every Friday, and I have 2 more that I need to schedule. I'm also looking to repurpose some of those topics into either YouTube videos and or into blog posts for my website. So again, it's all about repurposing. It's all about using one topic and turning that one topic into a bunch of different pieces of content, so it doesn't feel like you're recreating the wheel every single time, because nobody has time for that. That's why it becomes easier for you to show up consistently, because you're literally, say, for the month of June, I'm only talking about capsule wardrobes. So every single piece of content or every single article or blog post that I have scheduled for the month of June is about capsule wardrobes. That's easy. I can easily create different posts and different blog posts and schedule that out for the month. I then can go back and create pieces of content that can be put out every week, multiple times a week, to share across all platforms. So, really making sure that you are utilizing what you currently have, scheduling content, saving you time, strategizing ahead of time. So, you're not waiting and sitting around at the last minute trying to figure out what to post, because nobody has time for that either. And also giving yourself some grace. If you have it set out to post Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and it's Monday and you don't have nothing ready, either, get something ready or just wait until the next day, prepare and just post either the next day or your next scheduled day of posting. So that's definitely something. The last piece, giving myself grace, is definitely something that I'm working more on, because there have been times where it's like, all right, My goal is to post, or my goal is to go live Tuesday and Thursday of every week. I've been getting that done. And then I also like to share YouTube videos Tuesday and Thursday of every week as well. Cool. I already got my post out for Tuesday. Now Thursday, it's like, all right, I gotta make sure I put my post out today. But if it gets past a certain time, I can still put it out. But if I decide to, I can always just put it out tomorrow. And it's not the end of the world. So you have to give yourself grace throughout this process as well, and to understand that things happen. But as long as you have what you need to have planned out and all your ducks in a row, everything will be perfectly fine. But do your best to not show up. Like, you have to show up, and you have to show up consistently so that people can catch on to what you're saying and what you're doing and what you're talking about and who you are as an expert. So it's so important. Number three, a do. Do speak to your audience. Do speak to your ideal clients and not anyone else. So when you are sharing your content and your captions, you have to make sure that that particular content and the copy that you're creating for your caption actually speaks to your audience. And for me, I feel like sometimes this is the hardest part. I don't know why, because some of the things that I feel like I want to talk about, some of the things that I feel like I want to cover, that I feel like my audience may need, or that I feel like is important to my audience, they may not want to hear about that. They may not want to see content like that. So try it out. It's all about trial and error, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't. But it is important to understand that whatever you do post on social media has to speak to the pain points of your clients, has to speak to the challenges of your clients. You have to think about what your clients are going through. Think about what your clients are experiencing. Think about what challenges your clients are having. Listen to, when people come to you and they inquire about your services, when they inquire about your packages, when they inquire about your offers. Listen and figure out what exactly they're asking for. Sometimes a lot of clients are asking for the same things. Or saying the same types of things. I have a bunch of clothes and I don't know what to wear. I really want to curate a capsule wardrobe. I have too many clothes. I hate shopping. I'm looking for a new job. I just got promoted. I'm wanting to rebrand my business. I want to lose weight. I want to dress for my shape. I want to dress for who I am now. All of these things are things that I'm constantly hearing as a style savant from my audience. And that can be overwhelming too, because you're like, oh my gosh, everybody is saying the same things. What should I create and what should I focus on first? But go what makes you feel confident. Go in the direction that makes you feel confident enough to speak about at that point in time. But also make sure that what you're speaking about aligns with your overall mission and aligns with your overall purpose as a stylist. I'm really big on providing education to my audience. So whether it be teaching them about capsule wardrobes, what a capsule wardrobe can look like, educating them on how to cleanse their closets properly, what they should be getting rid of, what they should be keeping. I also talk about body shapes. So, teaching women how to actually take their measurements, how to properly take their measurements, how to properly determine their body shape. All of those things are things that I talk about consistently. And in order for me to make sure that I am speaking to my ideal audience, I want to obviously listen to what they are asking for and listen to what they are needing and their most challenged challenges. But I also want to make sure that whatever I'm creating also aligns with what my mission and my vision is as a stylist. Now, for example, a lot of stylists talk about what's trending. I don't really talk about that because that's not something that I stand by. That's not something that I believe in. A lot of stylists also talk about where to shop and, what stores to purchase from. Sometimes I talk about that, but that's not really my motive. Um, Some other stylists talk about, designer products and, what designer pieces to purchase or, things like that. I don't really speak on that because that's not my ministry. Like, I don't really care too much about designers, to be honest with you. I don't really care about any of that. Like, none of that really matters to me. So, it's so important to pay attention to what actually matters to you, but also, again, what speaks to your audience and who you're serving. You have to find that happy medium. So, moving on to point number 4, and the last point that I have, doing good on time. Don't overwhelm your audience with jargon or links. Don't overwhelm them with jargon or links. It's so important to put yourself in your client's shoes and think about what type of content you're attracted to. Think about what type of content catches your eye. Think about what type of experts you gravitate towards on social media and the type of experts that you follow on social media. Think about that. And from a customer or from a client standpoint, how can you recreate something that is similar but in your own unique way, if that makes sense? So you don't want to feel like you are um, overwhelming your clients with a bunch of different types of content, a bunch of different types of call to actions, a bunch of different types of links. Like, you want to be straightforward with your content. You want to be straightforward with what you're asking the client to do. So keep it simple. Use one clear call to action. Some of you all may not even be using a call to action. So make sure that whatever you post, for the most part, not every piece of content has to have a call to action, but it's important to consider a call to action for most of your content because you want your ideal audience to do something with the content. You don't want them to just look at it and or like it. Like, you want them to engage. So you can simply ask them, comment below, let me know your thoughts on this topic. Comment below, let me know which outfit is your favorite. Comment below, let me know if you even like this outfit and why. Let me know if you've done this before. Make sure you click the link in my bio to subscribe. Make sure you click the link in my bio to download, to RSVP, to whatever else it is that you want the client to do. But make sure that you are only telling them to do one thing at a time because you don't want to overwhelm them. You also want to make sure that you are using relatable language. You want to use relatable language. So keywords that align with, what you talk about and what you do as a stylist. So some of my keywords are style savant, style expert, shifting your relationship with style. They could be phrases too. They don't just have to be words, but shifting your relationship with style. I like to say style shift. I like to say style confidence, body shaping, intentional shopping, intentional style, wardrobe staples, capsule wardrobe, um, invest in your wardrobe, evolving, elevate your wardrobe. Or elevate your personal style. So I use a lot of those same keywords and a lot of those same phrases in my content. They could be hashtags. They can also be embedded in the actual copy that you are sharing with the content that you're posting. So think of those keywords, and use those and be intentional with that relatable language. And guide your audience with intention. You have to be intentional. It's not just about, oh, I didn't post today. Let me post something. And girl, like, or guy, whoever is listening, I used to do the exact same thing. Like, oh, I haven't posted in 3 days. Like, well, I gotta post something. Or it's like, no, no. Post when, not to say post whenever you feel like it, but be intentional about your posting. Make sure that when you are posting, it is of quality, it is of value, whether you're providing tips, whether you're asking someone to do something, whether you're encouraging someone, whether you're trying to get someone engaged. Be intentional about your content and your posting. And there was one more thing that I was going to say. Um, Oh, one recent thing. So my styling business is called SCB Luxury Styling. So I'm a luxury styling service that provides luxury styling offers and packages and styling experiences. And recently, I have been on Substack and I started following this woman who offers a lot of advice to luxury brands and small businesses who want to be seen as luxury. And one of the things she said that stuck with me, which is one of the things that I was doing previously but kind of fell off, was not feeling like that you have to post every day. So this particular post that she shared was about social media. And she mentioned, like not getting overwhelmed with social media and not feeling like you have to post every day, especially as a luxury brand. Because when you think about these luxury brands out here, like the fashion houses, or even just like the brands that really exude luxury, like I'm trying to think, not even just fashion, but also like these luxury cars, luxury handbags, like things like that. If you follow and if you look at those brands, for the most part, many of them are not posting every day. Many of them are posting every once in a while. And not to say every once in a while, but they have their cadence, but it's not every day. Or it may not be 5 times a week. Maybe it's twice a week. Maybe it's, 3 times a week. I don't know. But they have a cadence that works for them and it screams luxury. When you think of luxury, luxury isn't always accessible all the time. So for me, with my business being a luxury brand, what she mentioned was, not necessarily worrying about posting every day, but when you do post, make sure that you are spreading that content out amongst different platforms. So, like I mentioned earlier, taking that one topic and maybe creating a LinkedIn article on LinkedIn, creating a blog post on your website, creating a Substack article, and then creating one piece of content or maybe two pieces of content to share throughout the week on Instagram or LinkedIn or YouTube, and just allowing, SEO or the algorithm or whatever else to kind of scale your content and kind of push it out to the right people, and not feeling like you have to talk about something different every single day, but just having that one topic that you have and maybe sharing something twice a week about it, or, sharing a blog post or a LinkedIn article twice a month about it. And less is more, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So when you are posting and when you're sharing content, and you don't want to post every day, which I don't think anyone should, and you don't want to feel like you gotta post a certain number of times a day just to get your point across, consider utilizing your emails, consider utilizing your blog posts, consider utilizing other platforms where your audience is, and share that content there. You can even go as far as sharing your Substack post on Instagram, sharing your LinkedIn article in an email, and just taking that one thing and sharing it in a variety of different ways. So that way your audience can see it wherever they follow you, wherever they're subscribed. So it's so important to do that. Less is more when you're trying to build trust and engagement, um, and you don't want to overwhelm your audience. So I hope this was extremely, extremely helpful. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this topic, if you are struggling with social media, if you're not really sure what social media platform to show up on. Let me know in the comments. Let's talk about it. It's so important to not be afraid to share where you are struggling, if you're struggling, why you're struggling, and to ask for help when you need help. You're not alone. There are other stylists out here who are going through the same things. I have experienced a lot of those same things, and sometimes I'm still experiencing a lot of those same things. So don't keep things to yourself. If you need help, ask for it. If you have questions, don't be afraid to drop your questions below. And also, I want to encourage you to join Hey Stylist. Hey Stylist is a free community that is offline. So we're a group chat, a private group chat that is completely free, where other stylists of color can connect, can share resources, can answer questions, and can really just brainstorm different ideas and strategize different ideas. Hey Stylist is a platform that I created and launched, I want to say last month. And we have a handful of stylists in the group already that I'm excited about. And as we move through the remainder of the year, I'm going to create very special and unique perks and offers for the Hey Stylist community. So it's completely free. You literally have nothing to lose. So the fact that you're not even thinking about or you're not even in this group chat already, you need to be in it. It's literally free. You have nothing to lose. So make sure you join Hey Stylist if you're a stylist of color. Make sure you join Hey Stylist if you are looking for community, if you are looking for a space to just talk and to just share your experiences when it comes to being a stylist and all that good stuff. And I'm here to help. So thank y'all so much for tuning in, and I will see you all next week. Bye.